matters inside the wall. Once the drywall is installed, everything becomes hidden. Framing, the plumbing, the electrical, the HVAC, the insulation, everything at that point, you're trusting that it's been done correctly. Now, you're not expected to be a builder or engineer or a home inspector at this point, but there are a few simple things you can look for that do identify some problems. Stick with me through this video, and at the end, I do have the one test that's so important. I think it's one of the most important tests. We'll talk about that in more detail at the end. Let's jump into number one, framing. So one of the biggest misconceptions in construction is that the more wood automatically means a better, stronger home. And that's not necessarily true. In fact, excessive framing just reduces the performance of the wall significantly. And if you look at an older home, you look at the corners, they've got so much wood, there's no room for insulation. And you got to remember, every extra stud that's in that wall is a thermal bridge. It just transfers the heat from your home out. It does not replace the insulation. So excessive studs, not a bonus. In fact, it's hurting the performance of your wall. And like I said, pay attention to excessive backing, excessive corner studs, just more than what's needed. And that's really important for the performance of your home. You got to remember that the studs are an important part of the structural integrity of the home, but so is the sheathing, so is the drywall. That's the whole wall assembly. That's your strength. So extra studs is not necessarily meaning a better house. You make sure there's anchor bolts when you're looking at the framing. Anchor bolts are the actual what's anchoring your bottom plate, your wall assembly to the actual foundation. Without those in place, your house is just basically sitting on a foundation, and that's not a good thing. So just look, make sure they're spaced properly, make sure they're there, ask questions once again, make sure that everything looks tidy, clean, everything makes sense. That's what you need to know. And number two, insulation preparation. Even before the insulation goes in, make sure there's no voids. There's enough room for the insulation to get into the cavities, because you want as much insulation into this wall assembly as you can. Make sure the proper depth's there. Watch for unnecessary framing, backing, as we discussed earlier, because that can prevent insulation. And once I said, again, those are the proper details that need to be paid attention to. Look around the windows, make sure they're not overstuffed, because insulation loses its R value if it's compressed. It's almost like the wood that we're talking about is now it's so dense that it actually has no R value, and it's the fluffiness that makes it happen. It makes it work for the wall system. So look for things like that. Just not overstuff. Make sure some of the areas have spray foam. Spray foam is a big tool for sealing the building envelope. It's a major one for keeping the heat loss down and keep the drafts from coming in. So just ask those kind of questions. Look at it, make sure everything looks tidy and is done well. And we'll also talk about the vapor barrier that's coming up. Number three is your HVAC. This is one of the most overlooked areas in construction. But this is important. Duct runs should look clean, direct, and well planned. Nothing worse than having extra bulkheads because it wasn't planned out properly, and make sure they're properly sealed, because those are points for heat loss. A poorly planned duct runs just makes your whole system run inefficiently. And like I said, bulkheads, and nothing worse than having a bulkhead that didn't need to be there. Make sure everything kind of makes sense and looks tidy and clean and well supported. Number four, plumbing. This is the only chance you actually have to see in it before everything gets buried in. Once the drywall is in, that's where the leaky parts happen. It's not necessarily the exposed areas. I mean, pipes should be properly sealed, properly supported, properly strapped. Where pipes pass through the framing members, look for plates, prevent any nails and screws. And of course, look for any signs of leaks, sloppy workmanship. Most plumbing failures always happen inside the wall, not the areas that you see. And you know what? And talk to the builder about, did he do a pressure test on the system? I mean, this is your home. These are questions that you got to ask, because they're not going to volunteer them. And any good builder, any good plumber, trades, they would have that done. And ask them how long the test was performed and was there any leakage at all, because that's important. Number five, the electrical. I mean, the wiring should look organized, secure, tidy, intentional. You shouldn't be looking at loose, tangled wiring throughout the walls. That's just not acceptable. Look for proper stapling supports, check for protective plates and wire pass-throughs, where the studs are. This is a good opportunity also to do a walkthrough, because I'm sure you've done a walkthrough before this with the electrician, making sure the switches, lights, and everything make sense for your day-to-day use. And this is the time to identify that still is correct, because changing these locations of a switch, having enough receptacles, this is the time to identify that. It's really important you see this now before the drywall goes in. Number 6, windows and doors. So these are some of the most heaviest leak points of the entire home. If they're improperly installed and detailed, they can become major problems. Make sure you look at the rough openings. They're not too big for the size of the window and openings that are going in. Pay attention to the flashing details and the ceiling preparation. Make sure you can get proper insulation in there. Watch for excessive gaps and they don't create air leakage. That's going to be what you call a poorly installed window or door. And once the drywall's in and the finishing's in, that's really hard to do anything about it. So look at those details, address them right away, and save yourself a lot of headaches. Now, one of the most important and not talked about is the air sealing. And that's the sealing of all the air penetrations. Most important category, in my opinion. Look for sealing around pipes, vents, wires, penetrations in the plates, top plates, bottom plates. That's the top and bottom of the studs. Make sure you're not seeing, those are filled in with spray foam. They're not overly drilled out. That's unnecessary. You want to keep the airflow as minimal as you can. This is where you're doing that. This is the air leakage problem that you see in so many homes, especially older homes. They weren't addressed like this. Nowadays, the whole home wall system is an assembly of layers, and all these components we just discussed create a better wall system. And now, this is the most important of them all, and that's the blower door test. This is the test I talked about early in the video, and this is a test that not many people know about, but this is your report card at how well was the entire house built to this point. And it's so important because it'll show you where all the leakage points are. What this test does is it identifies and uses an infrared camera, and that's seeing where the air leakage. A blower door test is decompressing the house so that it's a negative compression inside the home. So once you shut everything off and let the air come back in, you're going to catch those points. And the whole point of this test is to identify where the air leakage is. If it's not being addressed and not being fixed and just putting the drywall up, this test is pointless. And a lot of builders will tell you, well, we do a blower door test at the end, and that's fine too. That's great. It gives you a number, how well it performed, but think about it. If you could fix those issues before you actually put the drywall up, wouldn't that be better? That's the whole point of the test, doing it at this point, pre-drywall stage. And a lot of them don't like to do that because it's a little extra work, but the good builders will agree that it's a good time to do it. So talk to them about that. Make sure this is something that they can offer, because it really is a report card on how well the house has been done. Because the trades are in and out of there. Things get missed. This is the one chance. And when he's walking through the house, he's noting where he's seeing. He's going around with that camera. Like he's looking at the details of where that air infiltration is coming in. And he's noting it. He's going to fix that, hopefully. Talk to him about that after the walkthrough. But that's the time when you really want to identify the issues, not once the house, you're taking possession and then you're having all this draft issues, moisture issues, all those kind of things. That's not the time you want to find out. This is the time. So I hope this video has helped. And if you've had any issues in the past with your new home, existing home renovation, put your comments. We all like to see those. We all can learn from them. I try to do different videos talking about the things I've seen or I've had to deal with, but I certainly would like to hear what you've run into and what you've seen. And if you have pictures, post them. Because in my opinion, most builders are there to work with you and hopefully build you a great home. And I've seen that mostly in my experiences, but I know a lot of people haven't. So post what you can, and I hope this video has helped. Pass it on to somebody that can learn from this, and hope to see you in my next videos. Thank you very much for joining me.